I was biking through Culver City at Washington Boulevard by the Honda dealership here. I think this is Higuera Street. What's the sign? I can't see it. This is sickening. This is bone chilling. I see a motorcycle laid out on the street, wreckage from vehicles here, a helmet over there. I hope the best for everyone involved. There's a car over there. I went before the city council. There's some cyclists there. I wonder if I know them. A few weeks ago, after a pedestrian was killed a few blocks from here on National and Wesley, and I said, due to the reconfiguration of the road here, so you see that red lane, that's a bus and bike lane combined, because they wanted to add extra private vehicle lanes to prioritize driver speed. And the roads are largely empty. Today is Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. A lot of people are out of work. And so what this means is when the roads are empty, people drive faster because the conditions feel amenable to greater speed. And when you have faster cars, you have less reaction time, and you have, I hope not, but you have deadlier crashes. This is Albert Vera's doing, that pig council person who just wanted to prioritize wealthy white homeowners who want to be able to drive a little bit more quickly, not that much more quickly, because the congestion is still bad around here. I ride through it almost every day on my bike. I'm able to get through. We're not paying attention to the environmental needs, the clean air quality, people's finances, the city's finances, when we have drivers prioritized over people being able to get around by bus. We don't have the buses running off enough biking, and whatever happened here, like, look how much of the street is dedicated to space for cars to be able to get through, and motorcycles, and oh boy, that is bad. That is really bad. But shame on Albert Vera, this conservative Culver City council person, and Goran Erickson and Dan O'Brien, who voted to take out the bike lanes and combine them with the bus lane to give extra private vehicle lanes. This is exactly what you could have expected. I went before the Culver City Council and I said, with the higher speeds, it means crashes are deadlier, and it becomes more a matter of luck if someone is killed. I hope that didn't happen here. I do not want to say those words lightly, but I said, as we saw on September 30th, when a pedestrian was struck and killed by a car at National and Wesley, eventually our luck runs out. And I said the other day to some cyclists too, someone's luck is going to run out around here. I hope that did not happen. I really don't. This is thoroughly predictable, but what has our car culture acclimated us to think? It makes us look at cars as normal and as crashes as just the result of individual bad actors, as opposed to why is there so much road dedicated to cars out here? So much road out here, road space dedicated to cars, as opposed to bus lanes. The buses, by the way, they only come every 15 to 40 minutes or so, including a stop right there. So people can't get around by bus. You wouldn't have this crash if that driver, at the very least, was on the bus. Motorcycle riders, I commend them, but I also say be safe. I don't know what happened here, but trying to look at this as an individual phenomenon fails to look at why are their roads so deadly here when we're outliers in much of the world. In LA, we're in Culver City, which is a city in LA County. There were 336 traffic deaths last year, over 100 of them pedestrians. This year, there have been over 288 by now. We're outliers in much of the world in traffic deaths. We could prevent them. Karen Bass, the mayor, I don't know if she wants to. She says she wants to. I don't know if she wants to, though. Where's the urgency? Conservative Culver City Council, the car constituency, they don't care so much. They look at this as, I don't have to see it. This is turning my stomach. It's making me sick. And this was totally preventable, both in the immediate, in terms of whatever the drivers, whatever conditions happened here, and the motorcycle operator, but as well as why are we so dependent on cars? Why aren't we encouraging people to not drive with these 2-ton or 3-ton or 4-ton steel capsules that kill so easily. This is horrendous. This is easily preventable. You have space for bus lanes here. You have space for bike lanes. You have space for more pedestrian infrastructure. You have the curb cut here to help cars go faster around the corner. Well, what's that mean? It means pedestrians going through here don't feel as safe crossing because the cars are encouraged to go faster. You have the curb cuts there as opposed to extended curbs. What do the curb cuts do? Curb cuts make it so cars can turn quicker, which means reduce safety. You have several points of conflict here with all the lanes and with people turning. And that means when you turn, you have to hurry up against cross traffic. This is horrendous. It's totally preventable. We're thinking too nearsighted and we're callous towards road deaths. So I absolutely blame Albert Vera, conservative, pig racist Culver City council member who talks about he wants congestion reduced. He said that. He talks about police response times got to be quick. We got to fund the police properly. Where's the urgency to get people moving on the bus to prevent stuff like this? Because this crash wouldn't happen on the bus. If at the very least the driver or even the driver and the motorcycle rider were on the bus. But if traffic was calmed, if the lanes were narrower, if there was only one lane in each direction, there's one lane in each direction sort of, but there's left turn lanes here. And also you obviously have multiple lanes here. This is just pathetic and horrendous and completely preventable. Albert Vera doesn't care about the bus riders who are waiting 15 to 40 minutes for a bus. They have to show up early to go to work, come home late, exhausted. They're predominantly low income, disproportionately people of color, so he doesn't give a shit. He wants to prioritize wealthy white constituents of his who want to be able to get around quickly and who can afford the $10,000 a year or so it costs to own and operate a car. The people who can't afford that or are not safe to drive, well, a lot of them do drive anyways because that's the only viable way to get around, because leaders like him don't give a shit about, first of all, he's not a studying guy. He's not a guy who's thought about this. He's not a learning kind of guy. And I blame him in particular because he's been such a fixture here, and his dad was mayor, and his dad was mayor in the 90s when Timothy Wynn, the cop, one of the cops who beat Rodney King on the street, was hired here to be a cop in Culver City after he beat Rodney King. And Albert Vera's father, Albert Vera Sr., said that he wanted Timothy Wynn to be able to earn a living. Cops here earn $70,000 to $85,000 a year to start. The bus drivers earn $40,000 a year, and the requirements to apply are much more stringent than to apply to be a cop. So in the Vera clan's Culver City, if you beat a black person in the street, you're more likely to earn a living wage here than if you're a black person driving a bus in Culver City. And the bus drivers are disproportionately people of color. So that's Albert Vera's. Screw you, I got mine. I got my money, I got my millions. I don't have to worry about taking the bus. I doubt he's ever stepped foot on the bus, at least not in decades. And I'm certain he didn't ask bus riders, hey, do you want to be on a path in a lane with the cyclists? Do you want to share a lane with them? No. Do you want to get more bus service? Do you want the bus drivers to be paid more? Didn't ask that. Didn't care. And this is what we get. So this is shameless. People support safe streets, good transit, support traffic calming, support getting around without cars, because this is inevitable when you have cars. People will not drive perfectly, and we have conditions set up to prioritize speed, and God, that is horrendous. Oh God, that is stomach turning. So I can't articulate it as clearly as so many other urbanists on YouTube have. Look up Not Just Bikes, look up Climate and Transit, look up LEJ here in Los Angeles, look up Nimesh in Los Angeles, look up Yet Another Urbanist, look up the Urbanity City Nerd, I think it's called. There are so many channels like that, and I'm not being flippant in talking about YouTube channels. I'm talking about them because safe streets starts before you get in the car. It starts with the design of the streets. Why have we dedicated all this space of our cities away from people who are confined to these narrow strips of pavement on the sides of the road. And instead, we've given over our cities to cars and the car industry and the oil industry, and it kills. And it's poisoning us. It's polluting the water supply, polluting the soil with the emissions from the brakes, the tailpipes, and the tires, because the tires give off microplastics that get in the soil and the ground and the water supply. So this is horrendous. So I don't know what that cop, if he's shining his light at me, but I'm going to get moving here. This is turning my stomach. This is awful. I warned about this. Albert Vera, you're a scum. This is really low.